Let's get into our discussion now. Female genital mutilation, as it's called FGM, is an ancient tradition that involves altering or injuring the female genitalia for non-medical reasons. Studies have shown that it has no proven medical benefit, but despite this, more than 200 million girls and women alive today have been caught in 30 countries in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia, where FGM is concentrated. Now, the practice is gradually fading in countries, but it still remains a public health issue as the procedure can lead to severe health and reproductive complications for women and girls. And as we commemorate the International Day of Zero Tolerance for FGM, governments, communities, and individuals must make conscious efforts to see that this practice is brought to an end anywhere in the world. Joining me now in the studio is girl child advocate Carr Kenny. Carr Kenny, good morning and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I see you're so excited. It's really interesting.
I'm so excited.
It's nice.
Honestly, anything for the feminine gender.
Very good. I'll come to you. Let me welcome Ayo Bello, anti-FGM advocate and mental health expert right now. Thank you very much for joining us, Ayo. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Great. All right, Yinka, let me start with you now. FGM, or female genital mutilation as it is called, has been with us for centuries, I must say. And a lot of people see it as a cultural thing. We used to hear a lot of things. The reason why they do it in the first place to prevent the girl child from being promiscuous, you know, things like that, all those kind of things in the past. But knowledge, understanding that is not, if anybody's going to be promiscuous, it has nothing to do with with your makeup, as the case may be. It is a thing of the mind and all of that. But talk to us basically, how is this awareness trickling down and how is it changing things, if it is changing at all?
Well, we'll keep trying. We'll say that it is changing things because like myself and my group, we have a group that we've been on this campaign since over a year ago, and we've gone to do some interviews and we realized that a lot of, more often than not, people just continue in it and the belief is just stuck in there at the back of their mind and they just go on with it. You see, like we've gone to places like Oyo State, you know, where we have it prevalent, and you hear testimonies of elderly women that, okay, that was what we grew up doing and that's what we, you know, why would you say that we should not cut a woman? We must cut a woman. But the campaign, you know, with so much of orientation, so much of trying to sensitize people, change their, you know, well-being, telling them the side effects. I tell you, these things, they've got a whole lot of side effects, you know. Most often than not, some of them live on with the lady even for the rest of their lives. In fact, researchers have found out now that sometimes the pains, the menstrual pains, is being caused by this damage because there are several types of female mutilation.
We'll come into this, Yinka. Let me bring Ayo in here. Yinka Kenny is just about talking to us about the dangers and the risks factors. Can you delve into that and bring us up to speed with some of these? We understand there are some immediate or short-term risks, and then there are other long-term risks that could even live with the girls for the rest of their lives.
Okay, so good morning. I'm so happy to be here. And female genital mutilation is one topic that I am very, very passionate about. So I'm very excited about the International Zero Tolerance Day. Female genital mutilation is an age-old practice, and if we keep talking about implications, we are going to go on and on and on. But let me limit it to what you have said for the sake of time and for the sake of the conversation, the short-term and the long-term implications of female genital mutilation. Female genital mutilation has lots of effects, you know, and it is more painful because some people think it is a religious practice, but I want to believe that female genital mutilation is highly rooted in gender inequality, rooted in harmful cultural practices. Female genital mutilation causes psychological trauma. It causes lots of lots of damages to the woman, excessive bleeding. And, female genital mutilation is carried out in different communities for different reasons and in different ways. For instance, in the Southwest, it is carried out on babies within ages 0 to 7 days old. In the East, sometimes, in the East, it is carried out, maybe during puberty as a passage of right into adulthood. And there's so many reasons. In the West, I'm going to focus on the West because I work in the West. I work in Osun State, and I've been campaigning against genital mutilation for over 7 years now. And in my experience, I've come to realize that female genital mutilation is carried out because they believe then that it reduces mortality rates. It shows that once a woman is not circumcised, once her clitoris touches the baby's head, the baby dies. So it was a way of accounting for, the huge losses at childbirth. And then it's also practiced because people feel that is the right thing to do, and so that a woman will not be promiscuous. Now, what are the effects of genital mutilation? In rural communities, local quarters is unpaid to cut numerous children, and then increases the chances of infection. It increases the chances of HIV. When we campaign, people say, okay, fine. If that's the case, then let's go to the hospital, which brings us to the idea of medicalization of female genital mutilation. Although it is wrong for FGM to be practiced, and I believe that any medical practitioner who perpetrates female genital mutilation should lose his or her license. But, from my research and from my work, we have discovered that there are lots of demands from the people on medical practitioners asking them to cut their babies. So those are some of the issues that we are experiencing when it comes to campaigning against female genital mutilation. Excessive bleeding, hemorrhage during childbirth, difficulties during childbirth, infection. Those are even the physical effects, let alone the psychological trauma. Nobody deserves to be caught. And the reason why people are not talking about female genital mutilation enough is because it is the private parts. Just imagine you have a scar on your nose. Imagine your nose is being cut, and then you carry it everywhere. That is how so many women feel down there. You have a cut. It's a form of disability. Yeah. It's a form on disability, and that's why days like this, it is a day to reflect. What exactly are we doing? If we say we are going to end female genital mutilation by 2030, are all ends on deck? What are stakeholders doing? What are law enforcers doing? But I don't want to digress, but I think I've talked well on the implications, the short-term and the long-term implications of female genital mutilation.
Ayo, you have painted a wonderful picture in our minds, the way you have illustrated all of that, because the point there is, we don't talk about it, or maybe people talk about it hush, because it is a private part. We know that when it comes to tribal marks, Carr Kenny, these days people don't really have tribal marks like that anymore. People are getting to understand that, those things don't mean anything. It alters
exactly,
the
beauty,
look.
and
exactly.
everything.
So it's the same way. The package has been packaged and it's beautiful. So why do you alter it one way or the other? But let's get into the issue of if we have to start, becoming deliberate with this to wipe out FGM, where should we really start from? Because mothers who are supposed to have understanding, parents, even daddies who are supposed to have an understanding, because it starts from there. They have to give their approval first before the innocent girl is put through the process. Talk to us about this.
Yes, I feel that we should start from everywhere and anywhere.
Everywhere.
Because, people have the belief that you go to those that are the illiterates and all that. But I will shock you this morning that 3 days ago, I was talking to an elite about this, and he sat back on his chair and looked at me and said, Yinka, what's your business with this? What's your business? It's somebody that is well known. So what's your business with it? What's bad in it? And I was like,
it tells that people don't still have this understanding.
And this is really happening here in Lagos, with a prominent person. So when we say that, most of the times we want to go to the grassroots. This education is for everybody, because we realize that a lot of people, they have grown up with this belief, and they have gone to school, and they are well-to-do, but their belief, their religion is still somewhere at the back of their mind, and they find themselves still insisting that this be done. I think that, but actually, do you know that there's an act that criminalizes, you know, harmful traditional
practices,
acts, yes, which affects the health of women and girls, which was, I think, the past President Goodluck Jonathan, you know, it was domesticated. It's been domesticated in about 18 states, but unfortunately, what happens to all other states? Now we talk about it's been domesticated in 18 states. What about the implementation?
Yeah.
So we are talking about implementation. That's on that level. But on our level, we can do a day-to-day and every time awareness, just like what we are doing now.
All right. Ayo, before I let you go now, a lot of people also see FGM as a violation of human rights. The rights of a girl is being violated. Talk to us about, Yinka just mentioned the issue of the law and prosecution. How do we ensure that this is firmed up enough when it comes to implementation of that law, that anyone who is found doing this, because they can be traced, they are all over the place, how do we ensure that we give some teeth to that aspect of the law?
Okay, female genital mutilation is a violation of child's rights. It's a violation of women's rights. It's a violation of human rights, and that is why it is an offense that I don't think should be handled with levity. It shouldn't be handled with kid's glove. We cannot talk about ending female genital mutilation, particularly in 2030, without the law enforcers. We know that lots of problems in Nigeria is as a result of the ineffectiveness of laws generally. They are boldly written, but you know, implementation is just a problem, just like Inka has said. Female genital mutilation cannot end in Nigeria if law enforcers are not taking it seriously. If I walk into a police station and I make a complaint to say, okay, someone is cutting someone, will the Nigerian police force handle that issue like I have come to complain about rape or armed robbery? What is the mindset of the police force when it comes to female genital mutilation? And that is why, as a young activist and as someone who has run an organization, I deem it fit to ensure that we train law enforcers. We need to carry them along. Right. NGO owners or people who work to carry out projects like this must collaborate. All stakeholders must come on board. All
collaboration. All right. We can't overemphasize the issue and idea of collaboration. We have to end it here now because of time. Ayo Bello, thank you so much for your insight into this, and the mind picture you created was really powerful and strong. Tomorrow, Saturday, is the main day, but we had to start it today because this is a serious issue and we all have to put hands on deck for this. Thank you so much for your time on the program, Ayo Bello. Now, Yinka Kenny, I see you're wearing a shirt that says, stop, is that, what is it?
Hashtag don't cut her.
Hashtag don't cut her. Well, that's amazing.
Yes.
And this is nice. Maybe you can stand up for us to see.
Yeah, we're actually going to the streets, you know, of Lagos today. You can see that the T-shirt has got hashtag. But
I hope you're conscious of COVID-19.
Yes, we're conscious. That's why we're not pulling the crowd. That's why we're not doing a walk. That's why we're just doing an artwork to educate people. You know, when the things you see will draw the vagina of the woman all around Lagos, and it's a temporary artwork, you know, people to see that, yes, something is going on, this must stop and all that. That's why we're not gathering. And that's why our T-shirt also has the shape of the vagina on it, and we'll just, you know, when you talk about artwork,
it's creating mind picture and all of that.
Yes,
thank you so much, Yinka Kenny, for your time and what you're doing for this as well. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Send our love and regard to all the women and all those who are campaigning for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, TVC, for the opportunity to shout about this and talk about this. And we hope that someday there will be an end to all this.
Very soon.